Vibes fans? Welcome to episode 7 of season 6. So, you may hear me in the last episode said season 5 by accident. That was just a total spoof on there, but it was a funny blooper moment for y'all to enjoy. So, I hope you enjoy that random moment of me totally forgetting it was season 6, not season 5. So, I hope you all enjoy that episode. I hope you're enjoying season 6 so far, and I hope you're enjoying all the other previous seasons of Good Vibes on be it where you listen to them on anywhere you get your podcasts like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and such and everything. So, but first, before we go into today's appreciation support vibes, along with our positive uplifting vibes, is our sponsor ad from Special Chronicles Network. The Good Vibes Show is proud to be featured on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to also subscribe to the newsletter and find the podcast page for this podcast, The Good Vibes Show by Jerry Holley. If you love The Good Vibes Show, then you'll love the art podcast on Special Chronicles Network. SpecialChronicles.com for links to subscribe to our podcast, newsletter, and to follow us on social media. And to support the podcast on Special Chronicles so we can continue our mission of giving respect and voice to people with special needs, visit specialchronicles.com/give to make a gift today. So, for today's positive appreciation support vibes goes to, I almost screwed up there for a moment, folks, but hey, happens. Is I'm going to do it actually a very unique one this time around. It goes to the Hammerhead Swim Cap Company, who makes this amazing swim cap that actually is able to help prevent concussions and pills, in which they do a lot of appreciation and support. As I know, I actually own one of their caps. I actually met them when I was out in Minnesota, where they're located, back in 2019, and their product is an amazing product and everything. And interesting enough, you can actually get concussion while swimming, actually, believe it or not. So many people think, oh, you could get back doing your backstroke or something, but it ends up you could actually, if you're on a club or school swim team, you're likely to get it there too with being kicked in the head or anything. So it's an amazing product to actually use and have. I think I highly recommend purchasing a cap or two because they're very good. I know USA Swimming may have, they're USA Swim Coach certified at least, which is a great thing. Hopefully USA Swimming will eventually will certify it because concussions are a serious matter, no matter what, in any sport. So I think it's important to actually note that as well. So they deserve a lot of appreciation and support of their vibes there for that, of course. And it's unique to say that, one, it's worth that they deserve that at all. So, if anything else, I know they're not inexpensive, I'll admit to that right now, but at least you get free shipping, of course. But they're an amazing product to have no matter what. I actually love mine, and it's still, there might be a minute tear in the back of it, I'm still using it, and I'm obviously going to purchase another one eventually here soon. Just because I want to keep the original one I got in good condition, of course. And so, that's worth doing and everything. So, I just want to remind you all that, one, safety is important no matter what sport you're in as well. So, before we move into the positive uplifting vibes portion of today's episode, I think I want to talk a little bit more on the Hammerhead swim cap a little bit more here, because I'm going to continue talking a little bit more. Actually, I think some people don't realize swimming is a great sport and all. I think some people don't understand it much, so I think it's worth noting that swimming is a great form of exercise, and I highly recommend those who may have never tried it, even doing it recreationally. I do it competitively and recreationally. It's worth doing because it's fun. It works your body in so many different ways. So I highly recommend swimming. I highly recommend getting the proper equipment if you're going to swim competitively. Even recreationally, you should also get proper equipment as well, no matter what. So, now, before we actually truly get into our positive and uplifting vibes, here's another commercial ad break from our sponsors, the Special Chronicles Network. The Good Vibes Show is proud to be featured on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to also subscribe to the newsletter and find the podcast page for this podcast, The Good Vibes Show by Jerry Holley, or Good Vibes by Jerry Holley, depending on which way you want to do it. If you love the Good Vibes Show, then you'll love the other podcasts on the Special Chronicles Network. SpecialChronicles.com for links to subscribe to our podcast, newsletter, and to follow us on social media. And to support the podcast on Special Chronicles so we can continue our mission of giving respect and voice to people with special needs, visit specialchronicles.com/give to make a gift today. So for today's positive uplifting vibes is be safe. Now, this goes hand in hand with what the Hammerhead swim cap does when you're swimming, obviously. But I think be safe means also just be careful in what you're sometimes doing. Like sometimes don't overdo things exercising. Like be conscious of how you do that and such. And I think it's well known that being safe while exercising, as well as doing all the other things, is important. So I think being safe, be safe, and being safe is important. So like if you're running outside in the dark, wear something that actually lets people know you're there. Otherwise, you could get hit by a vehicle, which is not good either. Swimming, make sure you're conscious of who's in the lane with you. Even though currently in this pandemic, there's not a lot of people who are sharing swim lanes, obviously, but that's a high note to you as well. In basketball, making sure that you don't hurt yourself and such. Well, like spraining an ankle or something. It's the same in soccer, flag football, any sport. Actually, you should be safe. But it's even outside sports, you need to be safe as well because one, you can injure yourself that way too. I just highly recommend to everyone just be safe, especially during these holiday season. Be safe, just because one, you want to spend time with loved ones and actually not in the hospital or something. So I just highly recommend just being safe no matter what in life. So I do really appreciate those who understand that concept, and I think many people need to understand that being safe and be safe are important in any form of life as well. And I mostly am referring to exercising and where you work in your work environments and such. Even in your house, you have to be safe too, especially with, let's say, because I own two cats, they could totally cause you the trip or something. So pets, you have to be safe around them too, because they could totally injure you by accident too, and you have to be safe for them as well, because you can hurt them in the process. So be safe generically wherever you are and such. So before we wrap up, here's once again the sponsor ad from the Special Chronicles Network. The Good Vibes Show is proud to be featured on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to also subscribe to the newsletter and find the podcast page for this podcast, The Good Vibes Show by Jerry Hoy. If you love The Good Vibes Show, then you'll love the other podcasts on the Special Chronicles Network. Specialchronicles.com for links to subscribe to our podcast, newsletter, and to follow us on social media. And to support the podcast on Special Chronicles so we continue our mission of giving respect and advice to people with special needs, visit specialchronicles.com/give to make a gift today. Now, before we wrap up again once more, I just want to give you the friendly Good Vibes reminder that remember to follow the Good Vibes Show on Instagram at Good Vibes by JH and Facebook, facebook.com/Good Vibes by JH as well. You can also look up me on YouTube under my personal YouTube to find all of the episodes of Good Vibes. But you can also subscribe to Good Vibes by Jerry Hoy. It's now officially Good Vibes Show by Jerry Hoy on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And currently, I'm on my way to getting 250 listens, which is amazing for being in production for almost over a year and a half. That's impressive to actually have and slowly build up things. So I just want to thank you all again for tuning in, and I hope you all enjoy your week. And see you next time when we'll have a special guest on the show. So until next time, everyone, peace out, boop, blah, and have a great rest of your week, everyone. If you already had it, or enjoy your weekend, have a great week next week too. Bye, everyone.